Welcome back to another Strive Sessions. This one's a little bit unique as we're not going to be talking about medications, but we're going to be talking about supplements, Strive supplements in particular. So let's get started here. Quick little disclaimer. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. This is for educational purposes only. All right, quick table of contents. We're going to go through why we decided to do these supplements. We'll talk a little about what sets us apart from other supplement brands. And then we're going to dive into the actual products and what's in those products. But first and foremost, let's talk about why we decided to start a supplement company. So Strive has always been trusted for their medications, right? We are trusted for our commitment to high quality medication. And we want to bring that same trust to our supplement brand. Patients are purchasing supplements from somewhere. So we want to make sure they're getting high quality supplements that are actually delivering. And so that was the idea behind the supplement line. And every product in our line is pharmacist-formulated. It's sourced from trusted partners, and it's manufactured in GMP certified facilities. Just a little added protection for you and your patients. All right, so why supplements? First and foremost, we decided to do this to fill the gaps of our medications. So medications can cause side effects, they can cause deficiencies. And so we wanted to support those issues with supplements rather than with other medications. And so that's why we decided to make this supplement brand. So we have supplements that are geared towards GLP-1s. We have a lot of GLP-1 patients. We have supplements that are geared towards hormone support and even down to longevity support. So we're just trying to fill the gaps with that our medications can cause. The next reason why we wanted to do a supplement company was we wanted to diversify. We want to become a household name. And so this is a good way for us to get into those houses. Instead of having a prescription, you can just go online and purchase these supplements. And last but not least, we want to expand our legacy. So Strive is much more than just a brand. We like to look at it as kind of a lifestyle. And so supplements can help us get into that and expand a little bit more. All right, so what sets us apart from other supplement companies? So first and foremost, we are pharmacist-formulated supplements. So our pharmacists took the time to look at research-backed ingredients to put into each and every one of these products. We are manufactured in a GMP certified facility. We are third-party tested. We have transparent labeling and ingredients on our products, so you won't see any kind of proprietary blends. What you see on the back of the bottle or back of the bag is what you get. And like I said about our medications, we want to be supplements that you can trust. Okay, so let's dive into our products a little bit. As I mentioned before, the goal behind this was to create supplements that helped our medications. And so one of the biggest medications, one of our biggest movers that we have is obviously the GLP-1 medications. So we wanted to create supplements that pair well with those GLP-1 medications. First and foremost, we have what is called Fuel. Fuel is a high protein, high fiber meal replacement shake. So there's no better way to start your day than with something like this, right? So you can get your 20 grams of protein, you can get 10 grams of fiber, and also some healthy fats in there for a little bit of added energy throughout the day. So we decided to go with collagen protein for a couple different reasons. So collagen tends to be a little bit easier on the gut for most people. But the tricky part was we wanted to get a complete amino acid profile. So not only do we have collagen, but we also added in plant-based protein. So we get a complete amino acid profile. So not only do we get the benefits of joint health and hair health with the collagen, but with the additive protein from the plants, we also get the full amino acid profile to help rebuild muscle. So we're always trying to prevent muscle wasting in our GLP-1 patients. And so that is why we decided to go with this type of protein over other types. The next big thing in this is 10 grams of diverse fibers. So this is a mix of soluble and insoluble fibers. Fiber is often overlooked, especially in these GLP-1 patients. So we understand that fiber helps with gut support, it helps with regularity and things like that. But fiber also plays a huge role in hormone balance. So when we have patients who are losing weight, especially at a rapid pace, what happens is estrogen is released from those fat cells. And when we have excess estrogen in our body, it tends to hold on to water. So we feel a lot of water weight, we feel bloated. So that's not something that we want if we're trying to lose weight. So when we have excess estrogen in our system, we want to have excess fiber to come through and bind to that estrogen and get it out of our system. So fiber plays much more of a role than just helping with regularity. It also helps with hormone balance. We have other things included in here. We have elderberry extract, acai, crucifix vegetables, kale and broccoli, different things just to help give the body the tools it needs. And like I said, a little bit of healthy fats to help with energy throughout the day. This is a salted caramel flavor. It tastes great. Definitely worth a try. So we all understand how important it is to get our protein in. That's why we decided to have two different protein options. So we had the first one we talked about, which was our fuel protein, which was collagen and a little bit of plant-based protein. But this one we have here is our clear protein hydration. So this is a clear whey protein. So if you've never had clear whey, I definitely recommend you try it because it's not like your typical whey protein where it's a milky, thick texture. This is a much lighter drink. So it's a much fruity, you can do different fruit flavors with it, but it's much lighter. So this is a coconut mojito flavor. It's 20 grams of high quality whey protein is what it is. We do also have some electrolytes in there just to add with added hydration throughout the day. But just a simple protein electrolyte mix just so you can sip on throughout the day, get a little bit more protein as you go throughout. All right, next one we have here is our GLP-1 Create. And the whole idea behind this one was to give the body the tools it needs so that we can support the gut a little bit better so the gut can naturally produce GLP-1 on its own. So the three ingredients in this is the baobab pulp powder, which is actually a prebiotic. It has L-glutamine, which is a simple amino acid, and then has Echinacea, which is in this case is a postbiotic. So we have a prebiotic, we have a postbiotic, and we have amino acid geared towards helping fix the gut, helping repair the gut a little bit. So these come in individual stick packs. They're flavorless. You can put them in water, you can put them in your favorite drink, you can put them in yogurt, whatever you want to do to get this gut support in throughout the day. A few more here with our GLP-1 bundle. We have what is called Control. Control is a simple appetite suppressant. So we have ingredients like chromium, hops flour, saffron, green tea, and the idea is just to help bring down our appetite a little bit. So if you're on a GLP-1 or not on a GLP-1, but you need a little bit of help controlling your appetite, that's what Control is. It's a simple capsule you take each day. All right, last but not least, with our GLP-1 support, we have what's called Daily. Might be the most important one in my opinion. Daily is a multivitamin. We always want to try to prevent vitamin deficiencies if we're taking a GLP-1. And so that is what Daily is. It's a high quality multivitamin. There's a few added ingredients in there like berberine and ALA and taurine that help try to balance out blood sugars a little bit better and try to give your body a little bit of a metabolism push. But that is what Daily is. So think of it as a high quality multivitamin with a few other additives to help with weight loss. All right, so now we have Digest. Digest is a non-laxative supplement formulated to support regularity. One of the biggest problems that patients on GLP-1s can have is either constipation or diarrhea, either or. And so we want to prevent that with a supplement. And that's what Digest is. So this uses magnesium citrate to do that. That's so important to keep peristalsis going. It has other ingredients in there. It has some 5-HTP, some ginger, some marshmallow root extract just to help soothe the gut a little bit. But the idea is to help keep the gut going and try to prevent that constipation. Okay, so we talked a little bit about GLP-1s. Now let's dive into our hormone support. That's another big area that we focus on here at Stripes. We do a lot of different testosterone support for males, for females. We work with estrogen, progesterone, you name it. But we want to create a supplement line that helps support those hormones. And so we have a few different products here. First, we have what is called Balance. I'm really excited for Balance. Balance is Vitality for women. So it was designed with the intention to help bring down cortisol. And if we can bring down cortisol, then the other hormones can work a little bit better. We can increase our testosterone. It does that by a couple different herbs and minerals. Ashwagandha is the big one in here. So we have ashwagandha, we have some fenugreek, we even have some zinc in there. And the idea again is to help with hormone support, help reduce stress a little bit, and possibly amplify libido. So just like we have Vitality for women, we also have Vitality for men, which is called Boost. So Boost was designed to give the body the tools that it needs to possibly help increase testosterone or help balance out the hormones a little bit better. And so we do that with a few different minerals, a few different herbs, botanicals. So what we have is we have what's called Fadoja, we have what's called Tongad Ali. We also have boron and zinc, which are essential minerals that the body needs to produce testosterone endogenously. And so that's the idea here, is that we can give the body the different tools to endogenously increase our testosterone production. All right, so a few different areas we have here. We're going to go over some sleep support products and also some immune support products. As you know, sleep is just as important as other areas of our life. So we work on exercise, we work on diet, but oftentimes sleep is overlooked. And so we have some supplements to help with sleep. That just helps us calm down at night and sleep a little bit better. So the first one we have here is what's called Restore. Restore is 4 simple ingredients. It's apigenin, it's magnesium, it's L-theanine, and it's 5-HTP, which is kind of a precursor to serotonin. And so the idea behind this is give the body the tools, or give the body some resources to help calm down, to help calm the mind down, some mental relaxation before we go to bed so we can sleep a little bit easier. Now, this next one we have is very similar formula. It's called Slumber. The only difference here is Slumber has 3 milligrams of melatonin. It also has some valerian root extract. So if you have patients who are maybe shift workers or they struggle with consistent sleep schedules, then melatonin could be a good option for them. So that would be this Slumber. That would be 3 milligrams of melatonin. We also have magnesium, the L-theanine in there. But the idea is just to help get a little bit deeper sleep with these additive ingredients. All right, so a little bit of immune support. So we have Shield. This is great for the flu season, for around the holidays. We're trying to not get sick through the holidays. This is vitamin C, vitamin D3, zinc, and a herb called Echinacea. This just is essential vitamins, botanicals, to help synergistically boost the body's natural defenses, right? So we're just trying to prevent getting sick through the winter illness season. All right, last category we have is what's called our longevity support. So a couple different things in here. We always work with medications that help with anti-aging and peptides that help with anti-aging. And so we want to have some supplements that could help with that too. So first and foremost, we have what is called Grow. Grow is a simple multivitamin, a high biotin multivitamin to help with healthy hair, skin, and nails. So you might be familiar with our Hair Force One if you've prescribed with us in the past. Grow is Hair Force One. We pulled it out of the lab and we made it into a supplement. And we also added in some key ingredients, some key amino acids to give it a little bit more of a boost with helping with hair restoration. And so that's what Grow is. It's a simple capsule that you would take. It has the vitamins, the minerals, a little bit of amino acids that the body needs, the tools it needs to help produce strong, healthy hair. Now we have Regen Plus, one of my favorite ones. If we could put Strive into a bottle, I like to say that it would be Regen Plus. It's 3 simple ingredients. It's what's called urolithin A, if you've heard of that, PQQ, and NR. So first, urolithin A. Urolithin A is a metabolite that we pull from the body, from the gut actually, that helps do what is called mitophagy. So if you've heard of mitophagy, that's the process of finding damaged mitochondria and eating them up so that the body will produce new mitochondria. So that's what the urolithin A does. PQQ helps with healthy mitochondrial function. And then NR, I'm sure you heard of NAD, which is a coenzyme. NR is a precursor to NAD. So how that works, it helps the body produce ATP a little bit more efficiently. As we get older, our NAD stores start to decline. And so we can replenish that with NAD itself or the precursors like NR, which is what we have here. So this is our longevity support supplement. It's formulated to support cellular health, sustain energy, just overall metabolic wellness. Last but not least is our creatine. There's so many studies right now about creatine, how beneficial creatine is, not only for muscle growth and muscle preservation, but also for brain health. This creatine is not like any other creatine out there. This creatine is actually bound to a magnesium molecule, which allows it to completely absorb in water. So you could mix this into a water bottle, stir it up, and you won't be able to see it and you won't be able to taste it, which is awesome. That's a problem that a lot of people have, is that when they take creatine, they feel like it settles in their stomach and they feel like they get watered down and bloated with it. That's because the creatine is not getting fully absorbed in the water. So just an idea of how well this creatine gets absorbed. We did a little test through it in our office here where we mixed 5 grams of this creatine into a water bottle, and then we had a plain water bottle. And then we went around and asked people, can you tell which one has the creatine, which one doesn't have the creatine? And they couldn't tell. It was a complete guessing game. It was a 50-50 guessing game. So that's really cool to see how well it gets absorbed into that water. If you've used creatine in the past and you felt like it upset your stomach or you felt like you were holding on to a lot of water because you were using it, definitely give this one a try. The absorption is awesome on this. All right, so that is our Strive supplements. Thank you for learning about Strive supplements. I'm super excited about this product line. This is something that I've been working on for well over a year now. So I'm excited to get it out there into your patient's hand, into your hands. This is something that I'm obviously very passionate about. And I think when your patients have a chance to try it, they might be too.